Okay, moving on to the next source of sound in the D-Lev, the noise generator. So we have a noise generator where we can control the pulse width modulation and the duty cycle, the amplitude with our volume or pitch hand, and the noise level. Bass and treble controls just for the noise source, and another multi-mode filter which is identical to the one that is in the triple oscillator. So let's go to the noise page. So this is the noise page, and this is the multi-mode filter associated with the noise. So right now I've got a simple oscillator setup where we give it full harmonics. It's all even harmonics, and we're a couple octaves down, and no filtering or anything. Because the oscillator has an effect on the noise generator, and this is for doing things like human vocals. Really, what you're hearing when people talk are little bursts of noise, and you know, when your vocal cords are closed, obviously you're not hearing anything. But when the vocal cord opens, it's a little burst of noise in a way. And so this noise generator can mimic that sort of behavior. It gates the noise along with the oscillator if you want it to. And that's what the pulse knob does. So without anything, with everything zeroed out, we get no noise. We actually do have a noise level here, so we can hear the noise here, and it's just white noise. And it doesn't vary at this moment based on where our hands are. We can, right now the noise is modulated normally by our volume hand. It follows the same volume response as like the oscillator does. You know, it gets louder as our hand gets closer, or as our volume hand makes it louder. So if we increase this V mod here, what's happening is the noise kicks in faster, but then it kind of levels out. And we can actually make the noise pop in and then kind of go away with louder volume with higher settings of V mod. You really have to knock it down here. So, you know, you could use that as like a kind of a breathy intro maybe to a certain kind of instrument. We can also do negative V mod here, and what that does is it does the opposite actually. It emphasizes the final noise level. So noise doesn't kick in until the very end then. So you might use that for something. All right, let's leave those alone. Also, we can vary it obviously with the pitch hand. If we want more noise, more noise at lower pitches, so we can modulate that. Sometimes we want a noisier sound, like a cello bow. You might want more cello bow sound at lower volumes, or at lower pitches. All right, so what does the pulse do? It pulse width modulates the noise depending on how much we increase it. So like around 8, we're doing 100%. And if I play a really low note here, you'll be able to hear the noise being modulated by the oscillator. See, if we don't modulate it at all we get is noise. If we turn this up some, we get like a fully modulated noise. Okay. And then we can, inside of that, here, let me make the oscillator even lower so you can hear it better. If we can increase the duty cycle, or the length, the duration of the noise with the duty cycle here. So if we turn it all the way up, we get white noise again, pretty much. But if we want little tiny, we can get very, very tiny little blips of noise by turning the pulse way up and the duty cycle way down. And sometimes this is useful for ringing bells if we set up the formant bank and the enharmonic resonator to resonate, to ring for a period of time. It can give a really variable sound to each of the times that it gets pinged, and give a nice kind of realistic variability to a continuously pinged bell, kind of like a telephone is continuously pinged. So you've seen, bass and treble. You know what those do. A lot of times you want to turn the treble way down, just because you don't, the high frequencies sound kind of weird, especially like with human vocals and stuff. And if you turn the bass up, you get kind of a, dangerous wind or kind of an oceany kind of sound. And then if we go to the multi-mode filter, we can, here, let's set this up to ping. So we would set it up to resonate like a second order filter maybe. Do full X mix. Turn the oscillator off so we don't hear it. I'm going to lower the octave so we can hear each individual thing. Sounds like kind of like a horse. Sounds kind of like a clock ticking. We turn the resonance way up, we get kind of a bell sound. We can make that track with our pitch hand by setting P mod to 32. So that's kind of it. So you've seen the filter, the noise source, and its multi-mode filter. Okay.